We're here really today to celebrate this community and to start doing some thinking and share some thinking about where the school is to go over the next 5 to 10 years.
Of what they're doing and what they've been up to, and ask me how my kids and my family. So the relationships I've built are lasting,
long term.
with them. Yeah.
And that, if you come to a leadership group, secondary I-class day, you'll realize that we all know each other's a little bit weird.
Yep.
Most of us all know each other from years gone by. Not all of us, and those who just joined us, they feel comfortable enough to join in on everything as well. Like
I've seen that this year.
We're a group.
Yeah.
So you don't think that.
I like coming back to what you said, the mixed age groups and stuff is really good. I'm finding that I was a little worried about a 6 to 9 grouping, but actually it's working really well because they all sort of, it's not even the same curriculum, but they can use the same stuff and just expand it for what they need to do and meet the criteria.
Yeah.
And I think that's
so that kids accept kids for who they are, and they know they need to be kind to each other and accept each other. So.
And that's part of that team learning, right?
Yeah.
Incorporating the different age groups together.
Yep.
We do have many programs. I see us as an umbrella, and I guess what it is that it's sort of like in a university that there's, or in a college where there's different programs, and there's education program or there's arts programs, but we're the umbrella. So, but we're.
I think that could be our full motto: chance to shine. Giving our kids the connections, for one. I have a better connection with parents, students, and staff than I've had in my whole teaching career, and that's only 2 months in.
Feeling like you can take a learning risk and not be criticized or not be sort of shut down.
Not just the learning risk, but kind of the social risk. It's the social risk.
Well, like
that's huge that you're able to step out here.
Feeling safe. That's huge. And that's what I've seen here so far in my short time here. And I think that's
you have to fail to succeed, and often we're afraid to fail because it's a society that celebrates success. But to get to success, maybe you have to fail many times. You keep coming back up.
How can we be everything to that group of students or that individual student who has an interest for robotics, right? So we have a robotics program, but how can we build their academics around their passion? So how can one teacher do that for a group of 30 students is kind of the question, and I think that comes down to resources, money, and and time and those kind of things, right? But maybe the system itself with one teacher for 30 students is a broken system.
Maybe we need to get away from paying taxes to have teachers teach our kids, and then they go out and they work for a business, so they're coming to the business pre-trained or with an education, but actually having the local area get involved somehow and take ownership of the people that live in their communities and helping to educate them.
Yeah. I think that
we need to make sure that teachers have a workload and the supports that they need that allow them to stick with Navigate for a long time. Getting up to speed in a new job takes time. Building relationships with families and kids takes time.
Talking about, there's 4,000 students here. This is why there's 4,000 students, is because this is the umbrella. It's just, there's no model for us to really turn around and say how to do this.
The more people we can bring in that fall into different categories, and the more people we can engage to find out, because I think that we're still challenged with getting people to get that all of these options are here. They're either here for DL or they're here for the arts, or there's a specific thing that's brought them to Navigate, and I think that we're working to make sure that more people know the extent of what you can accomplish, because again,
one thing that came up was we really need to have communication between the families and teachers and admin, and we always need to have ongoing communication.
Something that came up in a lot of conversations here too is how the idea of the school, especially distance learning school, it's more of a pivot point. It's more of a base that you come back to. You know what I mean? It's something that is to support your own learning journey rather than something that encapsulates your whole learning experience.
We are human beings before students, and no human being is alike another human being. We're all different. So I try to force us into a cookie cutter of what is considered a learner. But at this school, our learning, it's personalized for each human being, and it's celebrated as well as being put out there.
In this school, there is no boundary between grades. You come into the school and you see everybody from kindergarten to grade 12 interacting.
We're cutting edge, we're learning as we go, and I think that we need to accept the differences that we have in each of our learning styles and be willing to realize that what may work for one family doesn't necessarily work for another.
We obviously need some both public support and support from higher up the ladder.
Behind the new technology that we bring in as a way of learning is still emphasizing the importance of relationships and communication between people.
Blended learning is the future of education. Whether you're in a brick and mortar school or whether you're in a school like Navigate, it is where learning is going. And we're struggling as a school because we should be struggling as a school in this day and age in transforming education in ways that it's never been done before. And we have to embrace that change. And it's that spirit of engagement in the change which is essential for all of us. I was listening to parents, and I've been listening to them for years now, about their struggles with the new formats. And as we walk through them together, we can't do business the way we have done. The beauty of it is we've got some very talented educators in this building that can make that change happen alongside parents who are willing to engage in that. How do we create rich relationships online with these students in a blended format? That's our future.
I like about Navigate the art, the learning, and the playing.
the one thing that never fails to impress me is just how close you get with your fellow students and with your teachers.
The best part about iClass is the community of parents, students, and teachers support us, and the learning that we do together, and the strong sense of community that we have.
I would have to say that the best thing about the Navigate School would be the freedom and social aspects you get from being with the whole community. I think that's a huge part.
The way our parents are involved in the school, like no other school I've been in, they're just part of what we do at every stage of the game, and how we can personalize learning for every student. It really creates an atmosphere of celebration and support for student learning. It's getting students through their education in dynamic ways. They're excited about learning and they're connected to this community, which is something you wouldn't think about in terms of a distributed learning school. They're so connected here, which is the greatest thing I think we have to offer.
I like how it's so fun.
We're a family, all together.
This is really awkward.